Morning, everyone. Today we can discuss what is a structure. Okay, what is a structure is? Structure is a collection of the variables that will be having a different data types. So what is a data type? So what is a data type means int, character, float. So those are the different data types. So that all the data types that will be combined together. So that will be represented as the members of the structure. As actually, what is a structure means? It will be containing the collection of the variables that includes the different data types that will be under a single name. So next I'll be defining the structure. So structure name, what does it represent means it simply we can mention as the student one. So student one that will be having the different data types. So first data type will be the character name one, and the next will be its his date of birth and all his personal details. So all his personal details that will be represented as a member variable. So we can load until the member variable n. So this is known as the structure of the. So this is the syntax of the structure. Okay. Next we can move into the example. So struct student. I already said what is a struct student. So it is a single student. So character name. So character name. Character represent a data type. So its size can be until 20. And next int roll number and float marks, character gender, long int phone number. So this character int float character long int. So these all the things that will be that is represented as a different data types. I already said if you take a structure, it will be containing the different data types. If you take an array or something, it will be having a single data type. But in case if you take a structure, so it will be having the different data types. So the different data types I already mentioned. So the character int, float, character, long int. So these are represented as a different data type. So this is for the single variable. In case if you are moving on to the multiple variable, so we can mention this as a struct student one. So student one details we have to know. So we have to end this loop and then we have to move into the student two and then we have to move into the student two. So this will be continuing. So this is a defining a structure. So each variable of the structure has its own member copy of the variable. I already mentioned. So it will be having the different data type, and also while you are declaring the member variable, that will be declared or accessed by using the dot operator. So student one dot name and student one dot gender or student one dot date of birth. Okay, so these are represented as the what dot variables that are accessed by using the dot operator. Next, we can move into the defining the structure. So I already mentioned how to define a structure. So the character name int float, so that will be having the different data type. So that was represented by using the multiple variable. So structure initialization. So structure means single student, and it will be having the different variables like value one, value two, value n. I mean, it will be having the member variable one, member variable two till the member variable n. So all the what data types will be accessed by using the structure. Now we can move into the initialization. If you move into the structure initialization means for the single student or a roll number, I mean, name, roll number, marks, gender, and phone number, everything will be initialized. So how it will be initialized? Initialized by using the dot operator. In case if it is a partial initialization, only you can look at here. So the roll number, name, roll number, as well as marks, gender, and phone number, everything was initialized. But in case if it is a partial initialization, only name as well as the roll number will be initialized. Remaining will be represented as a null character. I mean, it will be represented as a null. So that's what it represented here. Partial initialization. First a few members and leave the remaining blank. If you are leaving the remaining things blank, so it will be represented as a null operator. So this is how will be represented by using the programming. So struct student, character name, int roll number, character remarks, float. Okay, so everything that was initialized by using the dot operator. So here, what is the structure initialization means will be initializing the values for all the things, name, roll number, remarks, and marks. In case if you are initializing for name and roll number, So that was represented as the partial initialization. And also every initialization that should be done by using, I mean, it should be accessed by using the dot operator. That's what it mentioned. S1 dot name, S1 dot roll number, S1 dot marks, and S1 dot reports. Next, we can move into the array of the structure. So in case if we want to access the variables for the single student and multiple student, we can access it by using the, I mean, we can access it without using an array. But in case if we want to access by using an array, why we are using this? In case, for example, if we take a class, we'll be having the 60 students. If I want to load all the details of, I mean, if I want to load the students of all the 60 pupils, so what I have to do is that I have to use an array. So without using an array, I cannot process this. So that's what I said already. So this ST100 means it will be loading all the details of the students from student 1 till student 100. I mean, it load all the details of 100 students. So array within the structure. So for example, so we can so this one we can take an example. So array within the structure. I mean, sorry, structure within the structure. We know structure within the structure means it is a nested structure. So what is a structure? So in case if we take a date of birth, so what are the things that we can include into the structure? So we can include the date as well as we include the year as well as we include the month. So along with that, we can include the name as well as the fruit salary. That's what. So I'm creating the structure inside the structure. Where I'm creating the structure, I'm creating the structure here, date of birth. So in this date of birth member variable, I'm creating the another structure. How I'm creating? I'm creating the date, month, as well as the year. So that's what I'm mentioning. I'm creating with, I mean, I'm creating the structure with another structure. I mean, that was represented as a nested structure. So date of birth, month of the year, year of the month, and remaining things will be represented as it is, the character name and fruit salary. So how I said it should be accessed by using the what? Dot operator. So person dot birthday dot date of birth, person dot birthday dot month of the birth, person dot birthday dot year of the birth. So what does it mention? So all the date of birth that was represented as a date, month, and year. Okay, so this was represented as a structure within another structure. So enter the name, person date not name, person date not person date. So sorry, person dot name, and next printf enter the date of the month. So how the date of the month that was mentioned, date of birth, month of the birth, and year of the birth, and float salary. So this is what mentioned as the structure within the structure. So if I'm creating a structure within the another structure for name means, so it was mentioned as the first name, middle name, and last name. In case for date, it was mentioned as the day of the month, day of the birth, month, as well as the year. So regarding the pointers, I'll be explaining this in the next. I'll be explaining in my next video.